You wish to speak with me?
Those who dwell here on Mount Pang Lai are said to share some kind of deep bond with Luminary. Let us seek them out. They may be able to tell us more about the Lord of Shadows.
Oh my.
Honey, you should have warned me about this mountain. It feels like we're never going to reach the top, and I thought the Arborian Highlands were bad. Welcome back to Tran wins Dragon Quest XI. Mini Meadow.
Score one for the good guys.
You know, right? The Dragon Rider's dragon. Wouldn't he just be a dragon then?
Score one for the good guys.
Dragon's Banes, Worm Fangs, Dragon Shields, Dragon Mail. Pile of Lunaria. Enchanted Stone. Not so fast, traveler. The path to the summit is rife with monsters. None may pass this point without the High Lama's permission. If we wish to journey to the top of the holy mountain, you must return to Angri-La and speak with His Holiness. Some days ago, a hermit forced his way past us and ran toward the top of the mountain. Whether there was any purpose in his foolhardiness, I know not. Several of my fellow disciples were dispatched to find him and bring him back, but they too have yet to return. For your own safety, I cannot allow you to go any further. It would not do for you to go missing also. Summit of Mount Pang Lai. No entry without permission from the High Lama.
A temple on top of a mountain. What connection could a place like this have to the Luminary? It certainly benefits from divine protection of some kind. Yggdrasil fell to earth not far from here, yet the temple buildings escaped entirely unscathed.
I know that face. That man is a knight of Heliodor. Heliodorian swine! You think that your blockade will break us? Think again. The disciples of Angri-La are made of sterner stuff, as you will soon see.
What in the... These movements must be intended to confound us. Be on your guard. They may attack from any angle.
Enough, all of you. Is this how we treat visitors? As your High Lama, I order you to stand down.
Your Holiness, these people are not visitors. They are soldiers of Heliodor. We cannot be sure of their intentions.
Soldiers of Heliodor, you say? The tall one, perhaps, but his young friend does not look like a military man to me. I sense a great power within you. Tell me, young man, are you the Luminary?
Incredible. He divined your true identity with a single glance.
How long we have waited for this day. Please, you must forgive my disciples' discourtesy. Their training is incomplete.
Yeah, they were real scary.
Welcome to Angri-La, honored luminary. It would please me if you would join me in the High Hall at the top of the temple. We have much to discuss.
A strange child, but remarkably perceptive for one so young. There is more to him than meets the eye, that much is certain. Well, we have come this far. We might as well make our way to this high hall of theirs, see what he has to say. I must speak with you.
They say those who dwell here have a deep connection with the Luminary, and indeed the young man who welcomed you knew precisely who you were. Let us do as you requested and meet him in the High Hall.
Let's have a nice little chat.
Say what you like about these guys' hairstyles, honey, but they're certainly distinctive. I might try going for the Angri-La look myself sometime. How could I have been so rude to the Luminary? 1,000 apologies. When I saw a knight of Heliodor, the kingdom that has oppressed our kingdom for people for so long, I could not contain my anger. I had no idea that you were the Luminary, and that you and he were comrades. I'm deeply ashamed to have shown you such disrespect. I've done you a great discourtesy, Luminary. I should have welcomed you with open arms, not bared fists. I pray that you can forgive me. His Holiness awaits you in the High Hall at the top of the temple. Please, proceed inside. The mysterious energy emanates from the ceiling. It feels similar to the energy given off by Yggdrasil's roots, but nothing happens when you touch it. Look at the Angri-La. You are the Luminary, you know? The one we have waited all these years. His Holiness told us that you had come. How long we have looked forward to this day. Pray, talk a while before you proceed to the High Hall. Everyone is eager to meet you at last. How about giving me stuff for free? Hooray! The Luminary is here! All of the monks have gathered in the High Hall to welcome the Luminary to Angri-La. The day we've all been waiting for has finally come. Well, nearly all of us. I don't really know what a Luminary is. I'll ask my mother later. I was guarding the mountain gate when we were attacked by monsters. If the disciples hadn't come to my aid, I would surely have lost my life. We had blockaded their home at Sir Jasper's orders, but despite this, they saved my life and welcomed me into their home. I could still hardly believe it. So you already knew the blockade fell, and you still attacked random travelers? We found this man lying unconscious on the slopes of the mountain. He was gravely injured, but we were able to nurse him back to health. At first we were wary of him. For many moons now, the soldiers of Helidor have laid siege to our temple, but it seems we had nothing to fear. He is a man of honor. You would charge the Luminary? Blasphemy! His Holiness has the power to sense a person's true nature with a single glance. This is why the Grandmaster chose him to be the new High Lama in spite of his years. Some of our less enlightened disciples resented being ruled over a boy at first, but he has proven himself to be a wise and able leader and gained the admiration of all. Now here's a face I haven't seen before. Tell me, are you the Prince of Dundrasil? Nope. Oh, is that so? I was sure you're a relation of my old friend. You look just like him. Yeah, alright. I thought as much. You remind me of my old friend. Your eyes are just like his. I look nothing like Rab. Message from the High Lama. Disciples of Angri-La. No doubt the events of recent days have come as a shock, but I urge you, do not lose hope. Let us honor the memory of our fallen master by devoting ourselves wholly to our training. The wheel of time is always turning, but with good karma we may speed her soul's progress back to the light. If one loses the will to win, one has already lost. Whether one emerges from battle in triumph or defeat depends not on one's skill with a sword or one's magical might, but upon one's will to win. No matter how powerful one's opponent, one must clear one's mind of all doubt, and devote oneself entirely to overcoming the challenge they present. This is the first teaching of Angri-La. We disciples train day after day to master this mindset. Howdy, honey. What brings you here? Me? I was moseying around minding my own business when I found myself smack dab in the middle of a gang of red-eyed monsters fixing to eat me up. If it hadn't been for a couple of kindly disciples coming to my rescue, I'd have been torn into itty-bitty bits. These fellas sure are strong. And fast. You should have seen them wail on them varmints. Quick as all get out. Guess all this training really does pay off. Angri-La is home to a society of monks who spend all their time training to be extra strong and clever. Are you here to train too? Nah, I'm good. Oh. Then why did you climb all the way up the mountain? You are a strange one, mister. Sure, let's train. I knew it. You should go up to the Field of Discipline. That's the name of our famous training ground. The best sorcerer in history trained there, you know. Mini medal. Girl about town, Puerto Valor. Start your day with a lazy morning, relaxing by the water, and enjoy a traditional breakfast of pancakes with coconut sauce and strong Valorian coffee. Then make your way to the beach, where you can sun yourself while enjoying a good book and snacking on delicious tropical fruit. The sweet, juicy flavors of fresh Valorian produce simply can't be beaten. Once the day starts to cool, make your way to the casino and try your luck at the tables until it's time for dinner at their hotel's world-class restaurant. The chef's special is out of this world. Finally, sit at the bar on the beachside terrace, sipping your cocktail and losing yourself in the stunning saffron sunset, or the bartenders are resting as your eyes. This is just one of the many ways to while away a day in delectable Puerto Valor. If it sounds like your idea of fun, then don't delay. Start planning your trip today. Don't go hungry. The local delicacies of Angri-La. It's widely agreed that Angri-La's unique style of cooking grew out of the need to provide delicious nutrition for the monks to perform their grueling training while still adhering to a strict vegetarian diet. Perhaps the temple's most famous dish is the legendary Bam Bam noodles, which are served only at special festivals. Claims that this is the most delicious food in all the world are certainly not unfounded. The meal is said to symbolize pride in one's achievement, and anyone capable of making the arduous mountain climb in order to taste them firsthand has every reason to be pleased with themselves. Here in the Temple of Angri-La, disciples undergo the most arduous training imaginable in order to draw out their latent spiritual powers. Before the mountain path was barricaded by the Heliodoran army, would-be heroes had come here from all over Erdwin in the hope of learning the secrets of our strength. Welcome, Luminary. We have been awaiting for your arrival for many years. One of us was especially eager to meet you, but alas, pray speak with His Holiness. He will tell you more. Light the fires, prepare the pots. The Luminary has finally arrived. Ah, what an auspicious day this is. I must prepare a banquet to celebrate. I just saw a load of disciples racing into the High Hall. His Holiness must have summoned them. I've never seen them so excited before. I wonder what's going on. Welcome, Luminary. This is the High Hall of Angri-La. His Holiness awaits you within.
I welcome you once again to Angri-La, honored Luminary. As I believe you know, it is my privilege to serve as High Lama of this most sacred temple.
I am to address you as Your Holiness, correct? Might I ask what you and your people know of my companion?
Why, everything, of course. We have awaited his coming ever since the day he entered this world, in the castle of Drasilian.
Waiting for him? What do you mean?
I mean exactly what I say, nothing more. Tell me, do you recognize the symbol on this banner? It is the emblem of Drasilian. Since the age of heroes, the princes of that nation have come here to train with us for 6 years of their youth. Your young friend was born a prince of Drasilian. Thus did we expect him to come here as a boy and study under the great Grand Master Pang. Sadly, that was not to be.
So if fate had been kinder, you would have spent a good part of your childhood here. What of his tutor, this Grand Master Pang you speak of?
When the Lord of Shadows brought the world tree low, the Master set out to summon a magical mandala to protect the temple from destruction. The spell succeeded, but its power was too great. Grand Master Pang did not return.
A noble sacrifice indeed.
Now that the Master is gone, it falls to me to guide you. Come to the field of discipline. It lies behind this hall. There is something you must see.
It is a shame that the Grand Master cannot be here. I would have liked to meet one so noble. Come, let us see what His Holiness has in store.
Yeah, it sure is a shame that Heliodor decided to barricade this place off, chase the Luminary around the world, and of course set Drasilian to the sword. Yeah, it sure is a shame. Having set out on a quest to find his friends, Tran arrives at the mystical mountain of Pang Lai, rumored to have some kind of link with the Luminary. Near the peak, he and Hendrik find the Temple of Angri-La, where they meet a young man called the High Lama, who, with a glance, knows our hero's true identity. He invites him to the High Hall to talk further. Once there, Tran learns of how he would have come to the temple to train for 6 years, as all Drasilian princes have for centuries, if not for the tragic events that befell his home. He also learns of how Grandmaster Pang, under whom he would have studied, is no longer living, having given her life to protect the temple in the fall. The Lama, saying he has something to show Tran, sets off to the field of discipline behind the High Hall. Luminary, you are all grown up. When the Lord of Shadows sent the world tree crashing to the ground, Grandmaster Pang summoned a mighty magical mandala to keep this temple safe from harm. But the exertion was too great. The Master did not return. A life was given to save those of we disciples. We must make sure that we put them to good use. It is my honor to serve as chief instructor of this temple. If Drasilian had not fallen, I would have trained you as a child, according to the instructions of Grandmaster Pang. No doubt you are eager to undertake the training that is your birthright, but first, pray speak with His Holiness. He awaits you by the entrance to the field of discipline which stands behind the temple. Oh, forgive me. It is a pleasure to meet with you at last, Luminary. I only wish that Grandmaster Pang could have shared in our joy. The Grand Master had awaited your coming more eagerly than any other. If only our beloved leader had not been taken from us. Welcome to Angri-La, Prince of Dungersville. For months, Heliodor has laid siege to this temple, accusing us of harboring the Darkspawn. All this despite our ancient alliance with Dungersville, the nation that was once their closest ally. No doubt their forces would have stormed the gates long ago were it not for their fear of the Grand Master. Pang's powers were enough to hold an entire army at bay. I will be the shield this temple needs. Fear not, traveler. I plan to put my training to good use, and protect all who seek shelter here from danger. If the worst should come to pass, I shall lay my very life on the line. My steely physique shall shield this temple from attack. Beyond this tunnel lies the field of discipline. Many would-be warriors have entered this sacred arena to train their bodies and their minds. Now, Luminary, it is your turn.
I must speak with you.
If Dungersville had not been destroyed, you would surely have been sent here to study under Grandmaster Pang's tutelage, but that was not to be. Still, what is done is done. For now, we must do as the High Lama instructs and follow him to the field of discipline. So Grandmaster Pang put up some kind of magical barrier to protect Angri-La after Yggdrasil fell, and died in the process? Gosh, what a heroic sacrifice. Could anything be more noble? I just wish I'd had a chance to meet them while they're still alive.
All hail the High Lama. My friend was chosen to be the new High Lama. Now he is the most important person in Angri-La after the Grand Master, and everyone has to do what he says. Amazing, isn't it? He's only the same age as me, but we couldn't be more different. Welcome, Luminary. This is the Grand Master's chamber. It is where Grandmaster Pang herself resided until that fateful day. It is also where you would have woken each morning if you had come here when you were a child, and trained with us as you were supposed to.
The Sutra of Angri-La. The Master teaches that man is the world, and the world is man. To devote oneself to good deeds is to serve the world. To bring goodness into the world is to protect it. The Master teaches that through suffering we learn of ease, that through sadness we learn of joy. To love mankind and thereby the world, this is our duty. Man is the world, goodness serves the world. Learn good things from bad, and thereby love the world. These are the wisdoms of Angri-La, realm beyond the clouds. These are the precepts by which we live. On the nature of the naughty stick. The Grand Masters of Angri-La wield a mighty weapon whose name echoes through the ages. I speak not of the wave-cutter scimitar, nor of the staff of torn clouds. No, I speak of the naughty stick. The origins of this legendary tool of instruction can be traced back to the very founding of Angri-La. It is said that the stick itself chose the very first Grand Master. Some believe that it was carved from a branch of Yggdrasil, and that even a dragon could not break it, though it tried with all its might. Of course, it is best known for its use in punishing young monks for lapses of focus. The pain it inflicts is rumored to be so severe that acolytes fear that their very souls have been spanked from their bodies. Actually, I prefer the joke, the Board of Education is like a giant paddle. Welcome, Prince of Dungersville, to the field of discipline, where your ancestors trained to become mighty warriors and wise rulers. The High Lama awaits you within.
Beyond those doors lies the field of discipline, where students of Angri-La strive for enlightenment. Before we tread upon this hallowed ground, let me tell you a little of our history, and of the Luminary of Legend himself, Erdwin. Before setting out to defeat the Dark One, Erdwin came to our temple to learn from the Wise Ones, who made their homes here even then. The first Grand Master, i.e., accepted him as a disciple and trained him in the secrets of spiritual realization. But he did not train alone. During his time here, he met someone who would change his fate forever.
Who was this person?
Another of Yi-Yi's disciples, a young mage whose talent outshone that of all who had come before. A man named Morcant.
Yeah, here goes my Mordigan now.
Erdwin and Morcant would train together every day, each striving to outstrip the other. Though they were fierce rivals, they became firm friends. When their training was complete, Morcant joined with Erdwin in his quest to slay the Dark One. Without Morcant's magic, he might never have prevailed. Before setting out, they carved an inscription into this stone, a pledge of eternal friendship. It has been a treasure of ours ever since.
Morcant. I have not heard the name before.
Now allow me to show you to the field of discipline, if you would be so good as to follow me.
Once there, Tran learns of how he would have come to the temple to train for 6 years, as all Drasilian princes have for centuries, if not for the tragic events that befell his home. He also learns of how Grandmaster Pang, under whom he would have studied, is no longer living, having given her life to protect the temple in the fall. It seems Erdwin, the Luminary of Legend, trained here with the mage Morcant. It is now our hero's turn to take to the field of discipline and walk in the footsteps of these giants of myth.
Listen.
The original Luminary and Morcant, his wizard companion, trained here together. Doubtless they learnt much. This place has an extraordinary history. Should time allow, I would very much like to accompany the High Lama on a tour of the field of discipline.
You wanna speak with little old me?
It sounds as though Erdwin and Morcant became the best of pals after training together in the field of discipline. Oh, I can just picture the scene. Fierce rivals one day, loyal allies the next. An experience like that together will always form a bond, believe me. Welcome, Prince of Dundrasil, to the field of discipline, where your ancestors strove to become mighty warriors and wise rulers. The High Lama awaits you in the center of the training ground. We two sworn companions, Erdwin and Morcant, do hereby pledge to lay low the Dark One, though it costs us our very lives. May this pact stand from now until eternity.
Welcome to the field of discipline. Since the age of heroes, many a would-be warrior has spilt sweat and blood upon these flagstones. If your karma had been different, this is where you would have trained under Grand Master Pang, like all the princes of Dundrasil before you. I have brought you here so that you might stand in the footsteps of your ancestors. An unbroken line leading all the way back to the Age of Heroes. Even your grandfather, Lord Robert, completed his training here. The memory of his achievements shall live long in the temple's memory.
His achievements?
Pang was a harsh master. With this implement, disciples whose efforts were lacking were given motivation directly to their fundament. It became known as the Naughty Stick. During the course of his 6 years of tuition, your grandfather's right honorable posterior was paddled an unprecedented 10,000 times. The tale of Lord Robert's road to enlightenment lives on to this day. Every disciple knows that he must focus at all times, lest he face the same fate.
A legendary achievement indeed.
You are worried for your grandfather, yes? Do not be. Lord Robert overcame every challenge set for him by the Grand Master, and emerged stronger every time. The fall of the World Tree would not have been enough to extinguish one so resilient. He is alive. I sense it. Tonight there will be a modest feast in the High Hall to celebrate your long-awaited arrival. We would be greatly honored if you would join us. We may not be able to aid you as we would have done were Master Pang still with us, but in this respect at least, we can provide.
That night, the High Lama holds a banquet in Tran's honor. The long-suffering disciples are overjoyed to have an evening's respite from their training and eat, drink, and dance till the early hours. Then morning comes. It's about time someone gives the Luminary the respect he's due.
Awake at last, hmm? It is high time we were on our way. If the Grand Master was still alive, perhaps we might have learned something to help us in our fight against the Lord of Shadows. Sadly, it was not to be.
Now that Pang is no more, the long line of Drasilian disciples, among them Rab himself, cannot be continued. The High Lama holds a small feast in honor of the Luminary's long-awaited coming, after which our hero prepares himself to leave.
Yes?
We remain no closer to finding a mean of bearding the Lord of Shadows in this den, Tran. The High Lama awaits us outside the High Hall. Come, let us go and speak with him. Oh my goodness, last night's party was so much fun. If I had to pick my favorite part, it would have to be the dance-off I had with the High Lama. That boy sure can move. I could hardly keep up. We cha-cha-cha till we could cha no more, and the match had to be declared a tie.
Huh?
What? You didn't see us? Oh, honey, I can't believe you missed the unmissable. Good morning, Luminary. Did you enjoy last night's banquet? With the Grand Master gone, there's little we of Angri-La can offer to you apart from our hospitality. Please, feel free to rest here as long as you like. Hello, how did you enjoy the party last night? Our butter tea is the best in all Erdwin, don't you think? Last night's party was such fun. After all the terrible things that have happened lately, it was wonderful to see everyone enjoying themselves for once. This is the Field of Discipline, the most sacred place in Angri-La. Through the ages, many a would-be warrior has spilt blood, sweat, and tears upon these flagstones. Fear not, traveler. Ah, Luminary, I trust you slept well last night? His Holiness awaits you outside. It seems he is keen to wish you luck on the next stage of your journey. He had said he intended to speak with you alone, but I hear raised voices coming from the other side of the door. What could be happening out there, I wonder?
And the hermit? What news of him?
Forgive us, Your Holiness. The monsters on the mountain path were too strong. We were unable to reach him.
I see.
Your Holiness, is there a problem?
Yes, Sir Hendrik. I fear there is. You see, 2 weeks ago a hermit visited us, unannounced. Then just as suddenly departed for the top of the mountain.
Alone? Whatever for?
That I do not know. The moment he heard that Master Pang had passed away, he ran from the temple. He was last seen climbing the path to the summit. The mountain has become infested with monsters, emboldened and strengthened by the rise of the Lord of Shadows. It is a perilous place indeed. This being so, I dispatched a group of disciples to return him to safety. As you can see, things did not go quite as planned.
I have trained all my life for a moment such as this, and yet I have failed in my first true test. I have brought shame upon Angri-La.
Might we be able to offer some assistance?
I thank you for your kindness, but you are guests here. I cannot ask you to undertake such a dangerous task.
A knight of Heliodor does not abandon an innocent in need. These people have shown us great kindness. It is only right that we do them a kindness in return. Would you not agree?
Thank you from the bottom of my heart, but I cannot allow you to bear this burden alone. I shall come with you. We must depart for the summit of Mount Pang Lai without delay. After exiting the temple, we will take the path to the east in order to begin our ascent.
The path to the top of the mountain lies to the east as you exit the temple. Be very wary. There are many fearsome creatures lying in wait there. It's too dangerous to go up there alone. Why would that hermit head to the top of the mountain alone? Does he not know the place is infested with monsters that have been driven into a frenzy by the Lord of Shadows? Thank you for agreeing to help search for the hermit. I wish that I could go with you, but as Chief Instructor of Angri-La, I must stay behind to guard the temple. It is with a heavy heart that we ask an honored guest to take such a risk on our behalf. But since the fall of Yggdrasil, the monsters on the mountain have grown stronger than ever before. None but the Luminary could possibly prevail against them. Welcome to the High Hall of Angri-La. It was built in the Age of Heroes and is considered to be one of the wonders of ancient Erdrea. It was originally constructed by the first Grand Master, Yi, and has been extended and renovated many times since. The great tower you see today is the work of generations. Erdwin and Morcant are remembered as the closest of friends, but they did not get along at first. They began as bitter rivals. One day they had a duel on the field of discipline to decide once and for all who was the strongest. For 3 days and 3 nights they battled against one another, but neither was able to get the upper hand. When they could fight no longer, the duel was declared a draw. It was then that they recognized each other's true strength, and from that moment, they were inseparable. Ho ho, they certainly were a pair of hot-blooded boys. Having set out on a quest to find his friends, Tran arrives at the mystical mountain of Pang Lai, rumored to have some kind of link with the Luminary. There, he learns of the long history between the Temple of Angri-La and the Drasilian royal family. Alas, Grandmaster Pang, who would have trained him, gave her life in order to protect the temple in the fall. Now that Pang is no more, the long line of Drasilian disciples, among them Rab himself, cannot be continued. The High Lama holds a small feast in honor of the Luminary's long-awaited coming, after which our hero prepares himself to leave. However, as he's about to head out, he sees the Lama amongst the monks at the temple entrance. The miniature mystic explains how a hermit headed to the top of the mountain, and he sent some of the monks to make sure the man was safe, as the monsters have become especially savage since the world tree fell. However, they have been unable to reach him, so our hero and Hendrik agree to set out in their stead and protect the Lama on the perilous passage to the peak.
This cannot be.
I am very worried about the hermit. He has set off for the summit all alone. If we are to catch up with him, we must hurry. There is a cave to the east of here. We must pass through it to reach the summit of the mountain.
A word, if you please.
It would appear that some who train here go to extraordinary lengths to make their circumstances as harsh as possible. Perhaps that is what the hermit had in mind when he set out for the summit of the mountain.
The High Lama is a really nice guy.
He lives in a temple up on Mount Pang Lai. He doesn't have hair, but don't ask me why. What do you think, darling? I'm so happy that the High Lama has joined us, I decided to write him a song. Not bad for an off-the-cuff effort, I'd say. Perhaps our teachings might aid you in your battles to come. Would you like to experience our training for yourself? This particular lesson involved defeating a mighty monster using a certain pet power. Will you accept the challenge? The monk wants you to show that you truly understand one of the core principles of the teachings of Angri-La by defeating a monster with a particular pet power. Very well, but I believe that this training would serve you well in future battles. If you should change your mind, return to me, and I will explain all. Good, you have the spirit of a true disciple. I sense that you have braved the battlefield countless times before, and performed the dance of death with many a foul fiend. For this trial, I would have you slay one of the boreal serpents that haunt the paths of Mount Pang Lai during the day, and hide themselves away at night. They are fearsome foes indeed. Not only that, you must use the pet power Blaze of Glory before felling the fiend. This skill vastly increases one's attacking might at the expense of defense. It encourages one to eliminate all thoughts of defeat from one's mind, and concentrate entirely on the offensive.
Hello, Luminary. You're going to rescue that man who went up the mountain, aren't you? I wish my brother was as brave as you.
Is the man your grandfather?
It won't be long until I have a new lease of life as a lovely young lady. I'll be nice to you, I promise. I mean, it doesn't look like you have much luck with the ladies, so you probably need all the help you can get. We'll have some fun together, you'll see. My old friend Rab was such a little rascal, always making mischief. His antics drove all the instructors to distraction. No matter how many times Grandmaster Pang took the naughty stick to him, he never changed his ways. It was almost as if he was doing it on purpose. Rab might have been a little troublemaker, but once he set his mind on something, he would always see it through to the end. To tell the truth, I had a bit of a soft spot for him. Wasn't the food at the banquet delicious? I made it all. The steamed bread, dumpling curry, everything. If you, the Luminary Reborn, had trained here as a child, goodness knows what powers would now be at your command. Perhaps you would be strong enough to defeat the Lord of Shadows. But it is bad karma to wish for that which cannot be. Now that Grandmaster Pang is gone, so too are the secrets of ultimate power. We must make our peace with this. It was not by chance that the very first Grand Master of Angri-La built his temple in such an isolated, precipitous place. Here, the disciples are far removed from all worldly temptations and can dedicate themselves wholly to their training. I.e., was a wise man indeed. Everything happens for a reason. That is what the Grand Master used to say. The reason that you came to this temple when you did must surely have been to save the hermit. Go, Luminary, and follow your fate. Everyone is worried about the hermit who climbed the mountain on his own. If the red-cheeked seeker were here, he would surely run right up there, save the day, and be back in time for dinner.
A banquet for the Luminary? The very idea. When I heard that the monks held a banquet in the so-called Luminary's honor, I couldn't believe it. Sir Jasper was right. They were in league with the Darkspawn all along. But how can that be? Why would such kind, noble people ally with a being of purest evil? I don't know what to believe anymore. Hendrik, do you have anything to say to this guy right now?
This soldier tells me he once believed the Luminary was no hero, but a malevolent being known as the Darkspawn. It seems everyone in Heliodor believed the same. But do not worry, I have made him see the light. His mind is now cleared of that misconception, and he does not believe you to be evil anymore. Where's the red-cheeked seeker when you need him?
Did they talk to you already? Yeah. You are heading to the top of the mountain, are you not? To get there, simply follow the path to the east when you leave the temple grounds. By all accounts, there are many dangerous monsters lurking up there. If you're injured in battle, pray, return here to rest and recover.
Luminary, is it true that you are going to the peak of Pang Lai to find the missing hermit? I want to go with you, but I would only slow you down. I will wait here instead and pray for your safe return.
Yeah, at least someone here has the right idea.
Come, Luminary.
The summit of Mount Pang Lai can be accessed by heading east from Angri-La and passing through a mountain cave. I must warn you, however, that the route has become infested with monsters of late. Please proceed with the utmost caution.
Could it be?
It seems this hermit braved the monster-ridden slopes of Mount Pang Lai without assistance. I have no idea who he is, but he must have a very good reason for coming here.
Fabulous!
I love talking to the High Lama. He's like the little brother I always wanted. He takes himself a little too seriously, but he is just a kid after all. He's got a bright future ahead of him, I can feel it. Why, if it isn't the Luminary, His Holiness sent word that you would be coming. You are going to rescue the hermit who went off to the top of the mountain, correct? Please be careful. It would not do for one as important as yourself to go missing too.
We did it, darling!
I do plan on attacking all these monsters, but I was gonna wait until I at least have my whole party, but it looks like it's gonna be a long while before I get my whole party. So I guess I'll just have a future episode where I'm going around just attacking all the monsters that I skipped. I don't know. There's no real point to attacking them, other than to add them to my bestiary. And I might find some gear too. For example, the Dragon Rider Dragon can drop a zombie bane, I think.
Luminary.
We have not seen the hermit on our journey yet. This can only mean that he is at the top of the mountain. Surely we will find him soon.
These conditions are harsh indeed. The air is thin and it is bitterly cold. No ordinary person could survive here for any length of time. What would this hermit be doing here?
Hey, honey.
Well, darling, we made it to the top. This is no time to be slapping each other on the back, though. We need to find that hermit.
I must speak with you.
I can see a human figure atop the staircase up ahead. Could that be the hermit we seek? Come, let us take a closer look.
Come, Luminary.
Just the person I wanted to talk to.
It seems we are too late. Is this the hermit we came in search of?
Unfortunately so. He was in deep meditation when he breathed his last. I am glad at least that he was prepared to meet his fate. But that posture, it is awful. Uniquely awful. I know it from somewhere.
Huh? Incredible! Issue 1 of the Ogre's Digest. And in mint condition. Indeed. It seems our friend here made his peace with the world before departing. This, at least, is some small solace. Huh? But this is one of the royal treasures of Dundrasil. Why would a lowly hermit have such a... By the skies! Can it really be?
Lord Robert!
Your grandfather was Master Pang's most fervent disciple. Can he have chosen to follow his mentor to the next life, perhaps?
No, he is still breathing.
What?
His spirit hovers in the place between life and death. It is only a matter of time before he passes the point of no return. But there may yet be a way to save him. If you were to follow him into the void, you might be able to bring him back.
But how? Is this even possible?
The ancient teachings tell us that the summit of Mount Pang Lai stands at the crossroads between this world and the next. If you will permit me, I can perform an ancient rite that will send you to the place between worlds. But it is not a decision to be taken lightly. Once that place is entered, there is no guarantee of return. Well, will you take that chance? Will you visit the void and bring Lord Robert back to us?
Yeah, might as well.
Very well. I will prepare for the ritual. Tell me when you are ready, and we will begin.
Now that Pang is no more, the long line of Drasilian disciples, among them Rab himself, cannot be continued. Just as our hero is preparing to leave, he learns of a hermit trapped atop the mountain among monsters, made mighty by Mordegon's magic. Tran, Hendrik, and the High Lama set out together for the summit to rescue this poor soul. Once there, they find the withered husk of a man a hair's breadth from death, and after noticing a certain item among his belongings, they realize that this is none other than Rab. The High Lama surmises that old-timer is somewhere in the realm between life and death, and might yet be saved, so Tran ventures into the void to attempt to bring his grandfather back.
No.
There is no time for hesitation. Your grandfather will surely perish if you do nothing. You must allow the High Lama to perform the rite so that you can bring Lord Robert back to the world of the living.
Oh, honestly.
Poor Rab. His fabulous fleshy physique has been reduced to skin and bones. Darling, we just have to help him. If you're heading into the void, I'll make sure I have my toes and fingers crossed. It doesn't sound like the most hospitable place. Is there any really reason not to just immediately jump into this? Rab looks a lot thinner than the last time you saw him. He can't have eaten anything in a long, long time. A copy of the Ogre's Digest lies by his side. The blurb on the cover reads, "Artistic pics and erudite articles for today's discerning gentleman." Well, Tran, are you ready to enter the void? Yeah.
It is time to depart for the place to which every soul must go, but from which few ever return. It is time to perform the rite.
What is this foolish dance? What manner of ritual is this?
You know, like 20 minutes ago, you were scared of this dance.
I sense a great power within you. Tell me, young man, are you the Luminary?
Nope.
Do not try to hide it. The strength of your soul radiates from every chakra.
Stop looking at my chakra.
Incredible. He divined your true identity with a single glance. A knight of Heliodor does not abandon an innocent in need. These people have shown us great kindness. It is only right that we do them a kindness in return. Would you not agree?
It was just a meal, man.
Come now, do not be so churlish. The High Lama needs our help. It would not do to let him down.
Oh, suddenly aren't you all listening to people who are in trouble now? Where was that? Where was that when I first arrived in Heliodor?
But it is not a decision to be taken lightly. Once that place is entered, there is no guarantee of return. Well, will you take that chance? Will you visit the Void and bring Lord Robert back to us?
Why not you? Why would you risk the Luminary in such a way?
This is no time for indecision. You heard him. Your grandfather does not have long left.
I will ask again. Think carefully before answering. Well, will you take that chance? Will you visit the Void and bring Lord Robert back to us?